Hi guys, Ben Carpenter here. I'm going to discuss the pros and cons of what I like to call packaged diets. Things like Weight Watchers, Slimming World, Special K Diet, Cambridge Diet, Herbalife, whatever. I'm not going to try and analyse each one of them. I'm going to discuss the pros and cons and summarise them in general. So I'm going to discuss the negatives and I'm just going to discuss the positives. At some point, I'm probably going to say something that you're not going to agree with. The whole point of this video is that it offers opinions from both sides of the coin. So if you're going to watch half of it, I recommend you watch all of it and make sure that you at least understand the other side of the argument. So, what are packaged diets? To me, they usually come in two main forms. A lot of them will be, say, substitution diets, where for meals 1 and 2 of the day, you swap it around for, say, cereal for breakfast, cereal for lunch, and then you eat a normal dinner. Or you might have a shake for lunch, a shake for breakfast, and a normal dinner. Things that are substituting normal meals for something which those companies sell in a lot of instances. The other one are kind of more all-encompassing diets, things like Weight Watchers or Slimming World, where it's not necessarily straight substitutions, but a lot of the time you may buy, say, Weight Watchers dinners, they have recommended foods, they try and support the lifestyle change as a whole instead of substituting things tit for tat. So, to the educated consumer, a lot of these diets are demonized. Here are the reasons why. If you are substituting breakfast and lunch for smoothies, shakes, cereals, bars, whatever, essentially what you're doing is buying a product from company X or Y, substituting your normal meals out, and all you're doing is following a caloric controlled diet. So there's nothing special about cereal, there's nothing special about the shakes that most companies are selling or the bars that most companies are selling, but the end point is that it's an easy way for people to follow a caloric controlled diet. So someone came up to me and said, what do you think of diet X? I'm going to have this shake and then whatever. And when I discussed the other things they could have for the same caloric value, they were kind of surprised. It was almost like the diet itself was magical rather than what the diet's actually doing. So I've made a joke before that I could give you a jelly baby diet or gummy bear diet, and as long as those 2 portions were caloric controlled, you had 1 normal meal in the evening, the end point would still result in weight loss. So let's get it out of the way. There's nothing special about the food you're eating. It's not fat loss promoting as such. It's just portion controlled, caloric controlled, and therefore going to promote weight loss as long as it has a caloric controlled diet overall. So the negatives of this, to most people you are looking at buying food from a company where the food itself that they're selling isn't necessarily magical. So you're kind of falling for marketing in that regard. You're buying lots of cereal, bars, shakes, whatever, but those themselves could be substituted for anything else. You could have a chocolate bar twice a day and a normal meal. And again, as long as it's calorie controlled, you'll still get weight loss. The other one, the all-encompassing diet, so Weight Watchers, Slimming World, etc. Again, they're kind of demonized because they're selling you products which you could substitute, but aren't necessarily selling you things that are different. So if they have, say, a ready meal, which is lower in fat, lower in sugar, lower in calories in general, it isn't necessarily different to something that other brands could offer you, but because they're putting it in a package, it kind of seems contrived in a way because they're selling you their own product, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but that's one of the reasons it gets such a bad rep. Other things are, for example, things that are promoting very, very low fat diets, and then having implications with fat soluble vitamins and nutrient deficiencies, so A, D, E and K, for example. Those are a kind of rough summary of the bad points of these diets. Now I'm going to discuss the good points. So a lot of people out there, let's say someone follows If It Fits Your Macros and they're saying, you know, diet X is crap or diet Y is garbage or, you know, diet Z is rubbish or whatever. You've got to bear in mind that to you it may seem that way, but if you're a personal trainer who's worked with a lot of clients, one of the things you'll realise is that everyone's psychology and physiology is different. So for you, it might make sense to know exactly how many grams of protein you eat per day, how many carbs you're eating per day, how much fat you're eating per day. You might be someone that weighs their food. You might put your food into a macronutrient calculator, etc., etc. But you're going to have clients that come to you who don't want to do that. If you tried to put them on that diet, they would fail, and that would be your fault. So just because your diet is ideal for you doesn't mean that it's ideal for everyone else. So I used to be one of those people that demonized these diets. If someone came up to me and said, could I, what do you think of this? I would say, it's crap because ... etc. However, if you're working with people, let's say an obese client comes up to you, you're working with someone who's morbidly obese. If you provide a diet which is too complicated or doesn't suit their psychology, doesn't suit their physiology or whatever, are you really going to be the person that says they shouldn't follow diet X or diet Y if they can comply with it? So if they have a shake once or twice a day, replacing normal meals, if they enjoy that, if they stick with that for a year because they enjoy it, and if it provides sustainable weight loss, are you going to be the person that says that was bad for them? Because I don't feel comfortable being that person. I don't want to say, the diet you did was crap, because if they've improved their health, improved their weight, etc., although it isn't necessarily the vehicle I would choose, they still got to the same endpoint. And to me, that is more important than how they got there. So while these diets, to a lot of people, are marketing more than a magical diet itself, you have to bear in mind that the whole point of this diet, or these diets, is that it's accessible for people to go onto. So personal trainers might not condone them, because they can work with clients, they can fine tune, they can customize, they can tailor, they can adjust your nutrition. But for the mass majority of people out there who want to lose weight, they want something that isn't confusing. So there's a lot of conflicting information out there on nutrition, and unless they know exactly which one to follow, you often have analysis paralysis, where people go, I've got no idea what I'm doing, so they don't do anything. So if they follow diet Y, or if they go to fat loss clubs once a week and follow diet X that goes alongside it, if they're achieving the weight loss, if they're happy about it, if they can comply with the diet and enjoy it long enough to achieve weight loss in the long term, then to me that is the most important factor. I don't feel comfortable with the idea that you're saying they shouldn't have done it this way because it doesn't suit your ideals. Let them do what they do. Their psychology is probably different to yours. As long as they get to the same endpoint, that's what we should be supportive of as a fitness community, rather than trying to say, IIFYM is better than diet X or diet Y or intermittent fasting or whatever. As long as someone gets to the same endpoint, be supportive of that. To me, that's the most important factor. So that's my kind of objective review, both sides of the coin. It's supposed to be more thought-provoking than trying to provide you the answers. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, please post them on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Ben Carpenter Personal Training, or my Twitter page, which is BDC Carpenter. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.